Alright, we're going to start you down the path of ruin, and that is printing your first 3D part. It's not going to be a rhino, it's not going to be a flower, it's not going to be a hippo, it's not going to be anything like that. You're going to learn how or what limitations are. And you're going to see it tit for tat, back and forth. Let's say I have something here. How do you get it to print? And what does it look like printed? And this will lead you down the path of ruin, knowing what the limitations are. Okay? So let's start out by being kind of a scientist in nature. Let's add a cube to the scene. And this cube is now 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters. I know that to be dimensions, not scale. Scale is 1, and scale should always be 1 unless you decide to scale it uniformly all at once. For right now, let's just make our first test piece 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters by 1 millimeter tall. Okay, so that's pretty small. And again, you won't see how small that really is until you print it out. Now what I want to do is add another cube to the scene. This cube, just go for 20 millimeters. And in Y, this time I want to put 1 millimeter. And let's make it maybe 15 millimeters tall. Now, when you go to join these two pieces, hit 3 on the keyboard, hit Z on the keyboard, and then you're going to be able to go in here. Now that's 3 on the number pad, unless you have my setup. And remember, the setup occurred under user preferences where I said emulate number pad is now on. Therefore, you can use the top row of numbers. So if it didn't switch over, you have to click that option on. So this is wireframe. I can toggle between wireframe and non-wireframe using Z. And what I want to do is align these two objects up so it kind of looks like this. But I don't want any overhang to occur just yet. Let's have something that looks more like this. Okay. Then hit 1, you can jump into the side view and get them aligned that way. Good. Hit Z again, and I have this. So this time, I want to make all the other pieces 10 millimeters tall. So Shift D to duplicate the first one in object mode. Instead of 15, I'm just going to go 10, and I'll drag that down. In this case, I'm just going to drag it down until it clashes with the other piece of geometry. So it's going to be a little less than 10 millimeters. But again, this is a lesson called thin wall, thick wall. So in this case, 10 millimeters right next to the other one. Shift D to duplicate that. This one I'm going to make 2. Shift D again. 2.5, and Shift D one more time. And we'll make this one 3. Perfect. Now they need to join the I need to join the components, so if I go hold Shift and click on all of them, either in wireframe or non-wireframe, doesn't matter, I can go Object Join, and now I have my first part. So we're going to be able to see our limitations on our printer. Now the limitations on my printer compared to other printers are different. That's why for the video series online, I'm not going to go into ripping this. I do that inside the classroom, and I show on a separate computer how to do it, because I use Slicer. Some people do not use Slicer. Some people use Replicator, whatever. I want to keep the modeling side separate from the printing side. So for right now, let's just learn how to export this to a still. first name, last name, underscore test1, and I'll be able to export that as a still. So now what I'm going to do with students is I'm going to walk them physically over to a printer in my classroom and teach them how to rip this one part on a thumb drive at first. So you're not going to be able to see the next step as far as the printing is concerned. So in the next video, I'm going to have this magical piece of geometry that I produced with my printer, and I'm going to be talking about the thin wall and thick wall thing, and what it means to have thin wall, thick wall compared to the diameter of your head. So for right now, that's it for the video. Take that still, print it out, and come back, and you'll be able to see what it looks like tit for tat in the next video.